Hi, everyone. Hello, everyone. Hello, hello, hello. I am going to wait for some people to join since there is a little bit of a lag time when you do YouTube Lives. And for those of you that are watching the replay right now that were not able to make the live, I will put in the comments below when the actual video starts. You don't have to wait right now for people to join and things like that. So I'll put the time and when the video starts. Today, we're going to be talking about how to build an emotional connection with a woman. And I'm so happy to do this. If you follow me on Instagram or anywhere, I actually give you a couple of days notice for you to understand that I'm doing this. But this live is going to be something a little bit more special because I'm going to be doing more of a live Q&A and also a live coaching style program here about how to build emotional connection. Now I'm just waiting for some people to join, and I am actually trying to make this chat visible. If you're here, just say hello, say your name in the comments, tell me where you're from. I would love to know where some of you are watching. All right, so I'm just sorry, guys. I'm just trying to get this working on my end. Give me 1 second. I'm so sorry. All right, wonderful. Hello from Miami. Oh, I didn't know you were in Miami. That's awesome. That's right by me. All right, now I'm seeing my chats come up. Okay, perfect. I did something right here. Viewing from Atlanta, awesome. From New York City, awesome. San Antonio, Texas, wow. In Nebraska, I've never been to Nebraska. It's probably really, really cold right now, right there. San Francisco, awesome. Representing San Francisco, that's where I was born. All right, perfect. India, awesome. Kissimmee. I was actually I lived in Orlando and I went to college around there as well. James from Richmond, Virginia. Hello, hello from Sydney. Hi, Peter. Hi, everyone. Hi from Trinidad and Tobago. Wow, that's amazing. South Africa. I've been to South Africa. It's beautiful. Chi-town. Hey, Dubai. Awesome. Oh, hello. Um, I do know Morocco as well. Hello from Morocco. That's awesome. I've been there. I love to travel, obviously. I haven't been to Poland, but I really do want to go to Poland. Hi, everyone from New York City. I love you guys. I actually just did a workshop there a couple of months ago, which is an intimate couple of men there, and I'm so happy to do it. Mauritius, awesome. I've been to Mauritius Island. That is awesome. I love seeing where people are watching from. And don't worry, guys, I'm going to get to the topic today. We are talking about how to build an emotional connection with a woman. If you follow me on Instagram or any other social platforms, I told you that today's live was going to be about how to build an emotional connection with a woman. But I'm also going to be breaking this down as far as a coaching process for all of you that are watching today, because I really want you to get the clarity on how to build an emotional connection with women from the start to really the relationship. Hi, Mike. You need to come to LA. I will be in LA. I think I'm going to be there. I haven't stated yet, but in June. It's between San Diego and in LA for my next workshop for men. And I'm going to be talking about this at the end of the live today. So let's get started. I know that some of you are here, have been ready. So you have a pen and a piece of paper, like this is your time to take notes. I'm going to be stopping as well in this live to actually do a Q&A just to make sure that some of you are understanding what I'm talking about. Please just save your questions until I open up for the Q&A, and let's just keep it on this specific topic. If I have time at the end, then I'll answer some of your questions as well, because this is a really important topic, and this is a really important thing that a lot of men kind of don't understand the process a lot, because there's a lot of videos, there's a lot of content out there. If you've read my ebook, I talk about this a lot on how to build an emotional connection with a woman, and also by staying true to yourself as a man, which I'm 100% for. And this is part of my belief system. And as you guys know this, and in that ebook, I talk about that, but I really wanted to diagnose today basically the step-by-step of what you are going to be doing in order to build emotional connection, and how that emotional connection breaks So some of the questions that you probably had in regards to this will be answered in this live. Or if you're dating a woman right now and things are kind of like you don't know what's going on, or you kind of do, and you really need some opinions, some second advice, I'm sure you're going to see that here in this live. And also too, again, for those of you that are just joining, we are talking about how to build an emotional connection. I'm breaking it down in three steps, which is going to be the courting period, when you're dating, and when you're in a relationship. And basically how to get to the relationship if this is something that you want with a woman that you like. Now, also too, I'm going to stop after the three parts, and I'll stop after each and every one of them before we go to the next one. So you can have some Q&As in regards to how to build this. Now, if you have a pen and paper, let's get started. And I really, really do encourage you to do this, because I'm also giving you questions in this live that you can ask a woman to build an emotional connection besides my 20 question manual that I've had that some of you probably already downloaded. This is going to be different types of questions, and we'll talk about this in today's live. All right, so let's get started. All right, so phase number one in building an emotional connection is the courting period. So the courting period, let me just define really quickly what the courting period means. And let me know, just give me a thumbs up if you guys can hear me, because I have my AirPods on. So I want to make sure that you guys just hear me. So just give me a thumbs up so I know that it's a good sound, so you guys hear what I'm saying. So the courting period is when, thank you. So the courting period is when you meet the woman, right? So when you meet the woman, you get her phone number and you start to talk to her. You start to build a connection, get to know one another, and then possibly also go on dates afterwards, okay? So this is the courting period. It can take 1 date, 2 dates, 3 dates, 4 dates, it doesn't matter. It all depends on what the pace is, where you guys met, how long the distance may be, doesn't matter. Courting period is the same thing no matter distance or not. If she's in, let's just say, I don't know, Florida, and then you live in New York, doesn't matter. Courting process is when you're starting to get to know a woman and you guys are meeting up here and there for dates, okay? So I see some questions coming through. Don't worry, I'll get to the questions. I'm just going to start here and then I'm going to stop. So this is the courting period. The number one thing that you have to do, I'm going to break down this here, but the one of all of them in the connection, in the courting process, I'm building an emotional connection, and I'm going to really dissect the why in this, is by pacing yourself. This helps shine the light of attraction. When a man and a woman, but a man specifically, because my advice is tailored to you men, paces himself in the attraction process, it makes the light shine on attraction. Because what happens is attraction is built because of mystery, because of emotion, because of connection, right? And when you build this naturally by pacing yourself, pacing yourself builds that connection. Pacing yourself builds attraction. Pacing yourself builds mystery. And the reason why I say this first is because a lot of times when male or female, it doesn't matter, but when people in general find someone that they really like, and it's this beautiful girl and she has this banging body and she's just a 10 overall, and you've been waiting for a girl like this, you look at her as a man, because this is how men are mentally, how they are wired. And we'll go into that as well. I'm going to basically go into the female brain as well in this live. But how men are wired, I'm saying we like if I'm a man, how we are wired is, again, I did it. But anyways, is we are attracted to the physical nature of what a woman can supply, and that is okay. But what I'm saying here is a lot of times when you find that 10, when you find that woman, you just want to jump in and you just want to prove yourself and you want to show her that you are the man and that you have it all and that she's the man that you want. I mean, she's the man that she's been waiting, you're the man that she's been waiting for, and you have to have her. You'll do anything to get her. But in all actuality, when you do this, it kills attraction because you're not pacing yourself. Because what happens too is, in her mind as a woman, we are chemically wired to really build off of intuition, to build off of how you make us feel. And when you are basically coming off overly eager, then what happens is our we start thinking, what's wrong with him? What's wrong that he can't pace himself? Why is he jumping in with me? Does he do this with every woman that he meets? What is lacking in his life that he's trying to take things so fast? So that is so, so important in pacing yourself, because also you're understanding who this woman is. What is it about her? You want to know about her. And the next thing is, both of you have something to learn from each other. So this is what I'm saying here is, you have to understand that you have to learn from her just like she has to learn from you. What is she about? What is her foundational values? Like, what does she like to do for her spare time? What are her goals in life? Things like this, because just when we base a woman off of her physical demeanor, her looks, her body, great. You got a 10. And I'm more power to you, because I think that's a great thing. But when we get blinded by the surface and not the substance, is when toxic relationships start to happen, is when you start to lose yourself in the chase. And then at the end of the day, you don't even know what you're chasing. It's just because you're trying to get something that you don't even know can offer value sometimes. So that's why pacing yourself and understanding that you both have something to learn from is magnificent in the emotional connection process. I'm going to tell you something, men. When you find a woman that you really, that is like a 10, let's just say she is like out of this world. You've never even dated a woman like this, and you're like, holy crap, I can't lose this girl. But what you automatically do is you go into proving yourself mode, like saying, what do you think about me? What are you looking for? Initiating this too early on, too fast, initiating text, trying to get her to go on dates with you all the time, where this kills attraction. But what happens here is you end up positioning yourself in a way that's not authentic, because the authentic you, possibly, if this is something familiar that has happened to you, is just kind of going with the flow when a woman isn't like all that, and she's not like someone that you really can see a future with, but you're still kind of trying to feel her out and doing something like that. That's what happens. And then you overly you overly show too much too early on. So this woman's thinking, what is wrong with him that he's doing this? She doesn't know that you've never got a woman like this before. She doesn't know that she's a 10 and that you want her, and she shouldn't know, because you have the power within you to showcase the things that you want, and you are enough. When you come from that mindset of you are enough, and I talk about this in one of my videos I'm going to post next week. It's the something seven, I think, 7 male mindsets that seduce women. And that's a really good video. I'm going to be talking a lot about that, and you'll understand that a lot more. Now, also, too, in the courting period, is you have to understand that you have to let her reciprocate as well. All right, men. Women don't want to put in all the work. We don't. Okay. And I'm saying that right now. We don't want to ask you to hang out all the time. We don't want to call you all the time, but we want to be able to reciprocate just as much as you do too. You don't want to always do all the work as well. And that's why in the courting period, if you pace yourself, put yourself on a pedestal, and understand that you need to pace yourself in the way to get to know a woman, and not give her all your cards right off the bat in the courting period. This is what we're talking about right now in regards to building an emotional connection, is you have to let her reciprocate. Okay. So a lot of times I've seen men and clients come to me and they're trying to rebuild the attraction. And I asked them to send me, text streams, talk about conversations, do things like that. And what happens, what I see is they initiate too much. Every single day they're sending good morning. How are you? Been thinking about you. What is your day like? When can I see you next? How do you feel about me? This is not the way that you are going to build an emotional connection with a woman. Because what you're doing ultimately when you build an emotional connection with a woman is what will happen with a woman when you come off overly eager and she's not reciprocating. You have to give her time to reciprocate, because emotionally we have to feel intuitively that this is the right decision. We have to be able to feel something. And unfortunately, sometimes that comes with time and it comes with how a man presents himself. Does he want to rush into something or does he want to really get to know me? Because naturally, what happens is women, by contrast, will rebuff advances of an expression of affection and desire when they're under stress. Okay. So when a woman is under stress, meaning not stressful situations like, oh my gosh, I have to be here on time, or oh my gosh, I have to do a public speaking event. No, when a woman is under stress, meaning you're overly giving, you are being a little overbearing, you are reciprocating too much. So then she's thinking, gosh, this guy just wants to jump in a relationship with me right now, and I've only known him for 2 weeks. Then what happens is the reason may be that the stress hormone, um, cortisol, which is called cortisol, blocks the ox, oxytocins, geez, actions in the female brain. So abruptly shutting off a woman's desire for sex, a woman's desire for pleasure, or any type of physical touch. So do you understand? Like now I'm going to really the science way of how we reciprocate, how we feel. Thanks, guys. I see you in my comments. Anyway, so when I talk about this, and this is why I really want to you guys to understand. I want you to understand what I'm saying, but then also how it's inclined in us, how we operate as women, because we are just more intuitive. We go off of a feeling, okay? Um, and and with that said, when you give off this type of when you put a woman in a state of stress hormone that I was talking about, meaning coming off overly available or too eager to really just start something with her right away and see her all the time, if she's not reciprocating, this is what I'm talking about. If she's not reciprocating, then it just shuts us off, and our desire for anything sexual or physical touch is just turned off, because then our awareness levels kick in. We start to think, okay, basically, like survival mode. Like, what is wrong with him? What is he doing? So we question all this, right? So we question all this, and I feel like you have to play this game to keep women ignored. No, it's not. Here's the thing. This is where you guys are missing. It's not a game. If a woman is not reciprocating, then move on. But the game it starts to be when you're thinking, oh, should I text her again? Should I text her again? She's not texting me back. A woman will show you when she's interested, okay? And and if she's not, then you have to be able to move on. And I'm gonna talk about how you start dissecting this so it doesn't feel like a game, because it's not a game, all right? Now you have to. This leads me into the next thing in regards to this is decisiveness. Okay, what turns us on emotionally is when a man can step in his masculine power. Okay. Decisiveness is one of them. When you state and claim exactly what it is that you're there for, right? Decisiveness meaning, so I was thinking about going to dinner on Saturday. So I was thinking about these three restaurants, and but I'm not too sure. What do you suggest? What do you want? No, come in and be decisive. Tell her that you want to take her out to dinner at 8 p.m. And I know of this good Italian restaurant that's kind of similar to where you guys met. And this is an out of this world restaurant, and I'm going to take you there. Plain and simple. Or if you don't want to take her to dinner, then say, I know you're interested in hiking. I love hiking as well. Let's go hike on, you know, I don't know, the Hollywood Hills. I know Hollywood Hills because I'm from LA, but let's go hike on Hollywood Hills on Saturday, and we can stop and have lunch as well if you're lucky. You know, bring in that wittiness. Be direct, be decisive. And when you're decisive with the questionings, when a woman gives you a yes or no or a response when she's questioning you, be decisive when you want. Be decisive in your actions, be decisive in your decisions, meaning don't just think because you answer something, she's not going to like you. All right. Don't hold back your true you by saying, okay, let me explain here. Decisiveness is when a woman says, well, how do you I really just don't like to do things on the weekends. I like to really just stay home and relax. And you're the type of person that's like, I love to do things on the weekends. I go hiking, I go out with friends. I'm very social. So you're not going to say, yeah, me too, just to kind of satisfy her needs and her perception of you. You're going to say, well, I'm completely opposite. I actually like going out with friends. I'm a really big social person. You are being direct. You are being direct with your behaviors and staying true to who you are. And this shows a woman that you're not scared to hold back and you're not trying to impress her. So the attraction is built because curiosity is then formed. She starts thinking, wow, he's really not trying to impress me. He really doesn't care. It's just like he enjoys spending time with me. He likes me, but he's just being who he is. And that's what builds also this emotional connection. Okay. And um, what another thing too, and we're talking about the courting period, and this is the last tip, and then I'm going to go into some Q&A before we go into the dating and seduction period of this part of this. Excuse me. The last tip in the courting period is predictability is the enemy of attraction. Okay, men. Let me say this again. Predictability is the enemy of attraction. All right. So what I mean here is you want to gain spike. You want to enhance a woman's endorphin levels, just like um, you want to do things that are going to make yourself more desirable just as much as you want her to do things to make herself more desirable. So the same thing is vice versa. And it's not about games here, okay? Predictability is the enemy of attraction, okay? So if you go back to the first thing that I was saying, I'm not saying not to be predictable when you guys are dating and the both of you guys like each other, you're in a relationship, that's a whole new ballgame. What we're talking about here is the courting process, okay? And the first thing I said, if some of you were watching, the first thing about the courting process is to pace yourself and naturally understand what this woman is all about. You have to put yourself on a pedestal to understand that you're a respectful man. You have a sense of confidence, you have a sense of pride, and I know a lot of you do. But when a woman's in front of you and she's like that perfect woman, that sometimes you feel like you have to prove something to her. And let me tell you something, you don't have to prove yourself to a woman. You both can pace yourself, get to know each other, and that's where the true attraction shines. So this is going back to predictability, okay? Predictability and pacing yourself kills attraction. Now, predictability means, let's just say, every single night you ask her emotional questions like, I really like you, or, and I've seen this before, I really like you, and I'm really looking forward to Saturday, our date. And then the next day you say, how do you feel about me? And then the next day you say something as you're going on in text messages, and then you say something like, I've been thinking about you all day. I just can't get enough of you. Okay, these messages are great, but not when you're really in this courting process. Do you see what I mean? Like, you can say things like this when you know the woman is into you just as much as you're into her. But this is the courting process, and you have to let her reciprocate. You have to let her feel like she's working for something too in this part. So a woman is always going to, always, if she likes the man, she is going to make it a point or not to say that she wants to see you, that she's thinking about you, or hello, good morning, whatever the thing is. Predictability is the enemy of traction. Is it true all the time? No. Like I said, predictability is the enemy of the traction in the courting process. Now, when you're in a relationship, when you're in a marriage, this is completely different. Again, let me reiterate this, guys. Predictability is the enemy of attraction in the courting process, okay? And you always too want to showcase that you have something else in your life besides just trying to get to know this woman. So you don't want to be available Monday through Sunday and tell her, I'm available whenever you want. I'm here and I'm available whenever you want. No. Start to position yourself by you being the decisive man and saying, I'm available on Wednesday and I'm available on Saturday, because you have goals. You have things that you want to accomplish in your life. And yes, you're positioning yourself as, all right, I do like this woman, but I really do have to find out more about her. So I'm not going to overly give too much, especially if this is a behavior that you're accustomed to. Then, if you are someone like that, I really encourage you to purchase my Overcome Neediness, Adult Attachment, and Fear audio seminar, which is amazing. And so if you do this, okay, that's more of a reason to kind of step back and even pace yourself and challenge yourself to do that. Now, predictability can also be that you are overly, you tell her that if I drop everything that you're doing and you say, the moment that you tell me that you want me to be your boyfriend, I will. No, like you're not giving her anything to work for yet. You don't even know her yet. You don't even know. I mean, it takes a good month or 2 months, depending on how many dates you go on, to really truly know someone's foundational values. So now we're going to go into, yes, focus on your purpose. Exactly right. And thanks, Mike. Now we're going to go into dating and seduction and how to build an emotional connection when you've done all of these stuff, right, that I'm talking about in the courting period, which aren't games again, which is just natural human behaviors. As you know, if you guys have been following me for a while, I've studied so much in regards to emotional intelligence, human behaviors, the female brain. I mean, I'm a nerd when it comes to this stuff. So this is really what I'm talking about here. So I'm going to go into dating and seduction, but the second part, because there's three parts of this, and I'm 25 minutes in, so I have some time for some Q&A. Does anybody have any questions in regards to what I talked about just here in an emotional connection with the courting period, when you and a woman are just starting to get to know each other, and it's just the first, second, third, or fourth month in? Um, All right. So true. I changed my availability. Okay. So true. I changed my availability. Then all of a sudden she started calling me more and more. Yeah. So it's just how mentally we're inclined. As a woman, we feel like we want to work for something. Now, this can be completely different too. If you were in a relationship, then it might not have to do with this. Like if you were in a real relationship, but if you were just kind of dating her and then came off this way, I totally see why. Is there a reason why it's part of masculinity to go for what you want or go after what you want? Yes. Okay. So if we go down to ancient history, this is how we're chemically wired, right? And I mean, I'm saying we like I'm a man. I'm not, I'm a woman. So it's because women are attracted to that dominant behavior, the decision making. Doesn't mean that you're going to make every decision, even if she's an independent woman. And now I know I'm treading lightly on this independent woman phrase because it's can mean so many different things. But a woman's nature is to feel, she wants to feel secure. She wants to feel safe. And secure and safe doesn't mean that a man's protecting her, but a man knows her. A man knows who she is. A man can get underneath and understand the substance of what she offers. What is underneath this? What is underneath the exterior? And feeling safe with that, because a man holds so much. If he This is what I want you men to understand, and this is why I'm in this practice, is men hold so much power. You guys have so much power if you just understand how to operate this all correctly. I mean, I've seen it in so many of my coaching sessions. I save relationships day in and day out. I help men build attraction with women that they never thought they would every single week. I mean, I know this works, guys. And the reason why, is there a reason why it's part of a masculinity to go after what you want, is because it shows a dominant force, but also shows us that you're not scared to do and go after something that you're convinced about. So it shows a sense of confidence and it shows a sense of power. I hope that kind of answers your question. And I can probably do a lot of video. I'm going to start doing a lot of videos in regards to that. Um, Let me see if there's some more. Oh gosh, there's so many questions. I'm going to try to get to these right away, guys. This is amazing advice. What if you pace yourself and see is sh- and she is checking your Instagram stories like every one of them? Perfect. That means that she's curious. You see, guys, like this is means she's curious. Spark that curiosity. Court her. Don't forget to court her. But make your text mean business. And I'm talking about this in dating and seduction. If you guys haven't heard my videos before, you know my old thing I always say, and if you've downloaded my text manual, I always say, make your text mean business. Um, why does some very persistent guys succeed? Because they go after what they want, because women are attracted to the masculine power. That's masculine energy by going after what you want. And that shows a sense of leadership. So if you're done on the courting phase and you're still considered a friend, how do you continue? So if you're done all that in the courting phase and you're still considered a friend, then how do you continue? Well, then you just tell her goodbye. You're not interested in being a friend. So there might be a reason for that. I'm not too sure. I would have to really kind of sit down with you on a coaching session to really answer that question. Sorry, guys, my earring keeps on hitting my ears. So, women are interested in alpha males. They're always mean. That is not the reason why we're interested in alpha males. Wrong advice. And alpha males are not always mean. Watch my video about um, I forget what it's called, but it's something about how to be an alpha male, I think, or the right type of alpha male. I don't remember. But really watch that video. I really go into that. I don't mean to be abrupt and mean with your response, but it's just, I don't want you guys thinking that because it's not the truth. It's really not. How do you attract high quality women that have their shit together and no kids or just one? All right, so I'm going to talk about that since we'll probably try to do it later on. I'm going to go into two more questions, and then we're going to go into the next step of this. Okay, guys? Um, okay, what if you have to work with her and be around her 5 days a week? I'm in the courting process. How do you keep the emotional connection? You actually have potential of keeping a better emotional connection. Showcase qualities, showcase positivity, showcase things that you're doing. Go to lunch and just show her that you're going to the gym on lunch. Like show her that when you're around her, it's not about her. You're separating work and pleasure. So when you're around her, you treat her like a coworker, and this will gain mystery. This will get her to think of you in a different light as well. Um, all right. So, what about being married? We're going to go into that in the last phase of relationship, it's called. And then one more question, guys. I'm so sorry. I'm going to get into the next one. If you haven't met, still haven't been on a date yet, but you're okay. So, what if you met still? Christopher says, what if you met still, haven't been on a date yet, but you're doing all the calling and reaching out, even though she responds, I would like her to initiate it sometimes. Is that wrong? Okay, perfect. Great question, Christopher. This is what you do. You stop responding. You stop calling her. She will reach out to you within a week or two. And she's going to say, maybe, hey, how are you? Or she's going to be open and say, I haven't heard from you. What's going on? And then this is when you come back and you say her, this is when you become the leader. You be decisive, you be direct. And just say, well, I just felt like I was always the one reciprocating. So I just wanted to challenge you to see if you miss me, things like that, and see if you would text me. You have to also take the leadership in this, right? And show her that it's like, it's about you too. It's a woman should always reciprocate. And I tell women this too. So if that is happening, this is what I tell you to do. Take a step back, and I can guarantee you within a week and a half, this girl will message you, or probably even a less time. And when she does, if she asks you how you're doing, you're going to say good and keep it close ended. But when she notices that you're not reciprocating as much, she's going to say something, especially if she has some type of interest for you. She's going to say something. And when she says something like, I haven't been hearing from you, why haven't you been reaching out? You can just reply and say something witty like, it takes two to tango. So you want to make sure that you position yourself in that light and show her that I don't mind reciprocating. I don't mind reaching out, but hey, like, you have to reach out too. And this comes to with a lot, I know I'm carrying on here, but it comes a lot too with different types of nationalities, right? We can say culture beliefs. I know, like, Italian women, hard, like real Italian women, their background, and I'm sure there's some Italians watching here, is the man has to do it. The man has to court the woman. So I just really want you to understand the woman. So that's why it's important to ask the right questions. That's why I'm talking about in this courting period. If you haven't downloaded my free manual on the how 21 or 20 questions to ask to get to know a woman's true self, I really encourage you to do that. That's in my description box in every single one of my videos. All right, so let's go back into, thanks so much. Hi, Amar. All right, so Puerto Rican woman too. I'm Puerto Rican. And I know that can be true, yes. Not to me. All right, so let's go now into the second part where it comes to dating and seduction, on how to build emotional connection with a woman after you go from dating to seduction, okay? And now, the biggest thing here is you want to be present in this time with her. You want to take the time to understand her, just like I said. And the way you understand her is by asking her really in depth questions. Witness her goals, witness your goals, and be positive, be opinionated, stick to your word, and you continue to see value in yourself and you continue to see value in her. Okay. So, this is the first part. And let me kind of elaborate on this. Being present is meaning that you are completely open to what she has to offer. Okay. You're hearing her, and you understand her, but you also witness that she has goals in life and you are positive and also opinionated. Okay. You witness that she may have goals. So the way that you witness she has goals is you ask her these things. You ask her, what are her goals in life? What are her values in life? Who is the person that in her life that has brought so much value to her? Who's the number one person um, that has influenced her life? Things like that you can ask her. What does she do on the weekends? How is she close with her family? Start to understand the meaning, the depth behind this woman in front of you, because this will show her that you're in it for the right reasons. But first, again, you can't do this if you're not doing the courting period that we talked about first correctly. She has to be able to reciprocate men. She has to some way reciprocate. And if it's in her nature not to reciprocate, then talk about it. Be clear about it. Make sure you ask her. And if it is, then figure out if this is something that you want to do. And then she will respond when you go on dates with her, when you plan things, when you make your text main business. All right. Being positive is like a freaking drug. If you are a positive man and you are happy and you're fun and you're lucky and you're witty, excuse me, and you just go after what you want. You say what you want. You're not scared and you're not held back by, is she going to like me? Because if I say this, maybe she's not going to like me. So let me just sit back and just like kind of be quiet and just my demeanor is going to be a little bit softer because I'm just going to be not as confident. You see what I mean? Now look at the difference. So this is what I mean. When you come off in assertiveness, positive power, this turns her on. And this is what I'm talking about here, men, is you have to see the value in yourself in order to really do this. Because if you don't, then you can't fake this. All right. Now, next one is do not in this dating seduction part right here that we're talking about is building an emotional connection is not to overly be complimented. Okay. Don't overly compliment her. And um, you want to say it when it counts. Okay. So just like I say, your text should mean business, your words should mean business as well. So you don't want to overly compliment her and say she's beautiful every single 5 minutes of the date, every single hour of the date. You want to just say it once and let it be, or say it at the end of the night and let it be. Okay. Hi, Jermaine. Thanks so much. I love when you live stream. I love doing them. Thank you. So now I'm breaking it down for you. Is how do you? I don't want you to be I don't want you to overly compliment her, right? Because I want her to still feel like she has to kind of work for you. I still want her to feel as though she has to feel she wants to hear this from you. You want her to work for this. I want to hear him say, I'm beautiful again. I haven't heard from him since the first date. He's never said that to me. And now leading on to the fourth or fifth date, now you're saying that to me. You can compliment her in other areas of her life and say, I love the way that you present yourself as a woman. I love the way that you carry yourself. I love how classy that you dress. Things like that are different, but you don't want to be overly compliment her, because of the fact that when you do, it doesn't give her room to ask for a compliment, and also doesn't really give her room to compliment you. Remember, you're showcasing yourself as well, but she's showcasing her too. You have to remember, like, this, you want to be convinced that this woman is the right one for you, because if you want a sustainable, healthy relationship, it takes time. You pace yourself. Okay. And next on this dating and seduction thing is, I always say in my messages to you guys, is texting means business. Now, let's talk about this. Texting means business means, hold on, guys. Mm, this is a lot of talking. All right, back from my commercial break. So I crack myself up. I'm so corny. Okay, text mean business. All right. So what I mean here is you don't want to go on unless it's a long distance relationship or there's distance and she's traveling and you're still having a connection. You want to make sure that you're still connecting with her on a personal level. You pick up the phone sometimes and you talk here and there, but you also want to make sure that you are implementing your texts mean business. How? This is how. Let's say that you guys, let's say it's Monday and Sunday night you guys went on a date and she texts you on Monday saying she had a great time. Monday night, you reply to her and say, had a great night last night too. I hope you had a great day and I'll speak to you soon. Okay. You're reaching out, but you're close ended and you're keeping the control. Tuesday comes around, you reach out to her and you say, have a great day. All right. You're not texting her all day. You're not saying, here's the food. You're keeping control. Here's the food I ate. Oh, I'm thinking about you at lunch and, talking all everything like about your day and you're supposed to be working or doing something. And then at night, I can guarantee you that woman will probably message you Tuesday night and said, hope you had a great day. And then you can choose if you want to pick up the phone and just talk to her for a second or not. Wednesday comes around, let it be. You guys already kind of paced yourself Monday and Tuesday. Wednesday comes around because in your thoughts, you're like, I want to see her this weekend. But also, you want to showcase that you are not about her all the time. You're about yourself as well. And then Thursday comes around and you say, by phone, possibly, by text message is I've been thinking about this great restaurant that I know you mentioned a while ago, and they have an opening for a reservation at 7 p.m. Why don't we go try that out on Saturday at 7 p.m.? How do you feel? I mean, what do you think? Excuse me. And when that's your text meeting business. So now you're setting her up for something to look forward to. So it's not that you weren't available these days and you just ghosted her and you're like, I'm not going to wait for her. I'm not going to text message her until she texts me. No, you are controlling the conversation. See what I mean? You're controlling. And a woman will probably give in and say, how's your day going? Reply, tell her how your day going. And then after a couple messages back and forth, just say, all right, well, I got to get back to work, wishing you a great day. And I'll contact you tomorrow. I'll contact you later tonight. Take the control, men. This is what I mean when it comes to text meaning business. Um, so, all right. So next, if you understand what I mean when it comes to text mean business, like press the like button, give me a thumbs up. I want to make sure that you guys understand this whole texting thing because I even made a manual called "How to Text a Woman" manual, and that I talk a lot about in the text mean business. So I want to really get clear on if you guys understand what I'm saying here. Hey, Pete, I always see you in my comments. Thanks for always being a supporter. Try to remember you guys that always comment on my videos, and I really, really appreciate it. And Mike as well. um, uh, yep, she is like any other lady. So yeah, I mean, she's like any other lady. Hopefully, she's a respectful woman and she appreciates a man, which is a whole nother topic that I'm very big about. But it's not a big one that we need to discuss today. Thank you, Ron. Great advice. All right, so perks now. Now that we've understood the whole texting, I want to just make sure though. Do you guys have any questions about texting? Because now I'm going to go into how to start sexually inclining things with her. Okay. Um, you're honestly the only woman that gives those guys the truth about women. Thanks, Jermaine. I just want you guys to find a good woman. That's why. Thank you, beloved, for your insights. I love when people say beloved or beloved. Big fan of you. Thank you so much. Any questions in regards to text so I can move on from this? Yes, hit that like button. She was dropping some jewels. Oh, thank you, the real. Love your content. Love you. I have a really big relationship promise, almost too big to fit in the text. Can you help? Yes. I encourage you to book a coaching session with me. I can 110,000% help you. I don't know if anybody on this chat box has been coached with me. I know a lot of my clients said they couldn't make the live. It's so funny because my clients that actually work with me or have worked with me before, they always see my emails and they always try to make my lives. And I guess it's the relationship that I build with them, and they're always messaging me and supporting me in so many different ways, which is pretty amazing. You guys are just awesome. Men are just awesome. All right, so Okay, texting. I'm just looking for texting. Long distance relationship texting, that's different. You initiate a lot more. You have conversations about life and you want to pick up the phone more when you do this. What do you think about texting talking to multiple women? All right, so if you're it depends on what side of mine you're on. Nope. Hey, no harm, no foul. I don't mind if you're just trying to play the field and really get and to understand how women are wired is the best thing I can say. Or if you're really trying to cultivate a good relationship and you're just not finding a woman that you really like, I don't know what it is. But date texting and talking to multiple women, I don't think is a bad thing, but here is where it gets bad is when you are starting to show that you have feelings for a woman and you're not being open with her and she's telling you that she likes you and you're not being open with her and she you know her intentions. She wants to be with you or she's working on something to be with you. As long as you're true and you're honest and you're open with her, there's nothing wrong. And you can't be a man that's saying, I want to be in a relationship when you really don't want to be in a relationship with her and you just want to keep her around for good sex. It's karma is going to come back and that's what makes it difficult. Okay. So I hope that answers your question. I think it's Kaiser. I think it was Kaiser. I'm sorry if I didn't get your name right. Can I watch this later? Yes, you will. You'll be able to watch it later. It'll be up on my YouTube channel. All right, guys. So I don't know clean text or dirty text. Okay, dirty text when you are getting when you are reciprocating. We're going to actually talk about that, Jonathan, right now. I'm going to talk about how to escalate. Okay. Um, I don't understand that question. Oh gosh, so many questions, guys. Sorry, so sorry. What if a girl's talking? Okay, control. What if a girl is taking control early? Hey, let her take control. Nothing wrong with that, right, guys? Um, uh, okay, so taking control means, okay, so let me reiterate what taking control means. Taking control means, okay, let's say who asked this question is, okay, so is me and you were texting, okay? Me and you were texting, and I texted you, we had a date on Sunday. And Monday, I text you and I say, Sunday night, I text you and I say, I had a great time with you. And you text me back and say, I had a great time with you as well. Monday comes around and you message me saying, have a great day. Just thinking about you. Have a great day today. I'll chat with you later. I'll chat with you later means that you are taking control. Okay. You are leading the way. You are taking the initiative to tell her what is going to happen. And then lastly, then you're going to call me or you're going to message me later on that night or the next day, whenever you choose to. And once you do that, you are still taking control. You're sticking to your word and you're still taking control. And then also another advice that I can think of on the top of my head is when you take control, when a woman starts to talk to you, which is fine, tells you about her day, tells you what to do, what she's been doing, you have a conversation with her, and then you're just like, all right, well, I got to get back to work and I have a boxing class at 7. So I'll probably have some free time to text you around 9:30, 10 p.m. Is that okay? Will you be up? Taking control again. You're showcasing status. You're showcasing what you're up to. Travis, I need a private coach. So Travis, go to my website. Let me try to put it in the links here for you guys. And you can book a session there. Within 24 hours, I follow up with you. You'll get a personal email from me. And I just put it there. Just go to that site. All right, Apollonia, you're one of the best coaches. Okay, thank you so, so much, guys. All right, so now let me get into the good stuff. Let me go into the juicy stuff. No point intended. No, I'm such a cheesy person. Oh my God, I can't believe I just said that on my life. Anyways, okay. Accusing her, accusing her of liking you. All right, so here's the thing is you want to start now that you're dating, that she's reciprocating. Now she wants that seduction. Now you want to start kind of like getting her to think of you in a desirable way and having her desire you. But what you want to do is you don't want to ask for her to desire you. You want to plant the seed. So when she's away, she's like, hmm, I can't believe I'm having these dirty thoughts about him. This is what you want, right, guys? All right, because when she initiates it, it's even better. And when she wants it, done over, game over kind of thing. Um, all right, so here's the thing is what I'm going to talk about now is the physical touch. Okay. So we're going to go into physical touch, your behavior, and how you tease. Okay. And initiate these questions as well. So I'm not going to look at the chat box right now. We're going to talk about how you plant the seed. So you start planting the seed about how you go about with your physical touch. So do you lightly embrace her hand when you're out to dinner, when she's laughing? Do you touch her lower back? Do you brace her arm? Do you move her hair away from you? And do you naturally, when you move her hair, do you caress your fingers on her neck? That's what I'm talking about, men. Start engaging in the physical touch. Show her that you're not scared. Of course, you're going to be doing it in a respectful manner. Um, and when you do this, okay, when you do this, you're not touching her in inappropriate places. One, phase one, she's already reciprocating. She's past the courting period with flying colors. Now you got into dating. You guys are seducing. You guys are talking. You're going back and forth. You know her intentions a little bit. She shows you a little bit here and there. She's complimentive. She's complimenting you, whatever. Now this comes into the physical touch. Start doing those things. Start putting your hand on her top of her knee when you guys are sitting next to each other and whatever you're doing. Hold her hand if you guys are doing something athletic together. Carry her, like, show her that you're caring about her physical well-being if you guys are doing something, like if you go rock climbing together, hold her waist to help her up. Like, do things that start to bring you into physical connection. Let's say that you guys are on a couch. I had a client that he's trying to build a physical connection with a woman. And the woman had these beautiful socks, cute socks on, and he pointed them out and started touching her socks. And he goes, Apollonia, what would you have done differently? And I said, I would have taken her feet and just put them on top of your lap and just put her feet on top of your lap. So she sees that you're not scared to bond with that physical attention and that connection, instead of just touching her socks and then being like, oh, these are cute socks, and just letting them be. No, take the initiative, grab her feet, and then maybe you can give her a foot massage. So that's the physical touch. Now let's get into the witty behavior, the teasing. So this is how you tease and you go into witty behavior with women. Now I only have a couple minutes. This is a really important one. You do not want to be direct and explicit. Okay. So you don't want to be direct and be like, oh gosh, I want to, there's nothing of that will turn on a woman. Like, being that direct and explicit does not turn us on unless we're in a relationship, or else we're getting down and you know what, but that's completely different. This is when you want to be indirect, but you want her to be able to spike the curiosity. So how do you do this? All right. I'm going to give you, this is where you got to get your pen and paper. I'm going to give you some tips on how you take this, and you can use this if you're in the friend zone too and you want to get out. So here we go, guys. What you're going to do is you're going to accuse her of liking you. Okay. So when you're on a date with her, one way you can escalate this is you continue to accuse her for liking you. Oh, I see the way you're looking at me. You like me. I know you like me. Or are you flirting with me? I see you flirting with me. You want to make her feel as though you are the one that is empowered because she is flirting with you. Or if she looks at you and says, and you look at her and you said, she gives you a moment of silence and she looks at you and you just be like, you're trouble. You are trouble. And she's going to be like, what? What do you mean? Why am I trouble? And you're going to be, you know why you're in trouble. Stop looking at me like that, or else you're asking for something else. And she's just going to laugh. Okay. So I want you to really understand this is witty behavior. This is the teasing part that you're going to get her start to think about you in a seduction way. Okay, guys. And then also too, like when you feel good and you have a nice outfit on or whatever, and she's probably behind you and you turn around, you look and you just be like, watch your eyes. I see you checking me out. I see you checking me out. You'll be lucky if you can get this. You'll be lucky if you can get this. All right, guys, that's another way. Like, remember, this is you're building the intimacy with her. You're getting her to think, oh my gosh, like I want him, I want him, I want him. And then let's just say that she says something. Okay, for instance, like one of my clients told me the other day, the girl that he is trying to attract came in the card. I'm probably going to butcher this, but I think it's something like the sense of smell, like she's allergic to perfume. So she starts scratching. So she was like, oh gosh, I put on such strong perfume. I should just take my shirt off. And instead he didn't say anything. That was a perfect time for him to be like, well, I wouldn't mind that. I think you should. actually, I think I have some perfume in the back. Maybe I should spray some in the car. That's what I mean. Like, really, really do like think of these things. Like, don't be afraid to hold back. You're not being disrespectful, and you can, and here's the one, another one. It's just like, are you trying to seduce me? Are you trying to seduce me? I see what you're doing here. Like, do things like that. Even if she's not, who cares? You don't want to just say that out of the blue when nothing is happening. Um, you can say things like, don't talk to me like that, or don't talk to me like that. That's trouble. You're asking for trouble, tease her. And then if you see her smiling and being giddy and like she's happy around you, just say, like, I see you falling for me. I see you. I see you falling for me. There's so much control in this. Okay, guys. And then you want to introduce sexual intentions as if it's her decision. All right, guys. So what you can do is when you're talking on the phone, this is so much good information. I'm trying to go so fast here. Is when you're talking on the phone or when you are on a date and you're questioning each other, and when you guys are together, start asking her questions. Here are some questions that you can ask her. Okay, guys, and this is where you can take your pen and paper and write them down. I wrote them down for you guys so I can remember what to say, and you guys can write them down. Yes, we did get a chance to go to live. Hi, Bobby. Thanks for always supporting me. All right, let's go into questions, guys. These are how you're going to ask her sexual innuendos, right? But come off softer because she doesn't want you to be explicit because there's nothing good with explicit in the beginning stages, all right? You got to be okay, so now let's get into it, whatever. The question number one, you can ask her, what makes you feel comfortable when you're naked? Ask her, what makes you feel comfortable when you're naked? Do you like being naked? And then you can ask her things like this because some people enjoy just being naked. Let's think about it. How many of you guys, give me a hands up, just love to be in your house, which is like no shirt, maybe your boxers, and just walk around the house? You can understand, like, you can really build that connection, get her thinking about that stuff. Also, you can ask her, like, what do you feel about public affection? Do you like public affection? Do you mind it? So ask her stuff like that. Of course, you're not going to ask her that in those series and sequence. Like, do you mind it? Do you like it? No, just ask her one thing. How do you feel about public affection? Okay. So write those things down. And okay, you're not gonna, let me be clear about these questions, guys. You're not asking this woman these questions if you were in a courting period with her, okay? You're asking these questions when you know she's reciprocating, when she knows she likes you, and things like that. So here's some more questions, and then I'm gonna go into the relationship part of attraction and building an emotional connection with the woman. You can ask her, what's the dirtiest dream that you've ever had? When you start to escalate with a woman, you're showing her that you're not trying to be her friend. You're text mean business. One, you are pacing yourself naturally because you know your presence, you know what you can offer. And now, two, you're alluding to seduction. This is why banter is always good. Yep. Thank you, Thomas. What's the favorite part of your body? Ask a woman, what is her favorite part of your body? What is the favorite part of your body? And then she's going to be like, why you're asking? And then you can be like, because I'll tell you mine. And you tell her, what is your favorite part? I mean, don't say her breast or anything like that. I would just kind of keep it more seductive and say maybe like her eyes, her lips, her hips, things like that. Another thing you can say is, how seriously do you take your sex life? That's another great question. Like, look at the way that I'm asking it. It's simple, it's real. Remember, this is not a woman that you just met today. This is a woman that has been reciprocating, has been liking you, has been showing you that she's showing up, okay? How seriously do you take your sex life? And then the last one I'm going to share with you is like something like I was thinking about like an activity, right? So you want to ask her, have you ever gone skinny dipping? So that's another good thing is opening up the door to seduction. Get her thinking about it. So then when she goes home, she thinks about these questions and she's like, oh my God, I want this guy. What the hell am I going to do now? Like, I like this guy. I want him. And then you're going to see her initiating. And then she's going to start talking about what are we? Like, this is where you got to go, guys. This is what I mean. This is the natural part of an emotional connection, how you build attraction. When you can master this, and I talk about this in my workshops, and so many men have success with my workshops because this is what I talk about, the natural art of seduction and attraction. Okay, guys? Now, all right. Relationship, I'm just going to touch base on this, guys, because I don't have a lot of time and I have a session right after this. Is I want to really just touch base on this, get to some of your questions here. So I'm going to start doing it. Um, Relationship is building and staying with an emotional connection is understanding that you share the same foundational values. You're listening to your partner, you're supporting your partner, you're communicating, and you understand your partner's love language. This is huge. The Five Love Languages by Gary Chapman is a book that I always talk about, and understanding how people love and how they receive love, how they give love and how they receive love. And this is really valuable when you're in a relationship. And you want to be clear on the foundational values, because what happens in relationships is if you're not clear on your foundational values, two people in life end up growing. Sometimes they can grow together, or sometimes they can grow in different ways. But what makes them stick together is the underlining foundational core values of who they are. And what happens is relationships fail because they forget how to blend the core values. They forget how to focus on those core values. They focus on the love that they feel for someone. They focus on the attraction, the initiation. I got to get this person before the actual offering of what the substance this person can give them. Remember, emotion, I wrote it here, is the, what did I say? I always say this and I'm trying to think of it. It's the tip of my tongue. Is the reason why the emotional connection is so important is emotion is the currency of love, guys. Okay. Emotion is the currency of love. And this is what makes it sustainable. And you always have to check in, communicate with your partner when you're in a relationship, because that's what makes it sustainable. And be open to having constructive criticism in your relationship. If something's not working, be open to it instead of defensive, instead of mad. Take down those walls. All right, guys. So I hope you really enjoyed today's live about the relationship aspect of emotional connection. Sorry, I couldn't go into that much, but excuse me. Before I end this call, this live, is if you are part of my email list, I really encourage you to be part of my email list. You can become part of my email list by downloading my free ebook called The 7 Common Mistakes That Men Make When Attracting a Woman. I'm going to put that here in the link because if you are a part of my email list, you will know when I'm coming to your area. I'm going to be doing a lot of workshops for you men where I can meet you face to face. And it's going to be a 2-day intensive workshop on relationships, confidence, and I'll probably have people with me supporting me to help you with this stuff, how to build attraction, everything that you want to do. And I'm going to start doing these workshops for you men because this is something so significant and a lot of people are doing them, but what is missing is the actual substance of what is going to give you sustainable results. And I really want you guys to be able to get that. I want you guys to be impacted with your love lives, with your life, be a happier, true you. And I'm here to inspire your life, but also inspire your love life. And I know every single one of you can get it. So I encourage you to sign up for, if you're not part of my email list, let me put the link right now actually in my description box here so you guys can download this ebook, which has great advice and it talks about the emotional connection, how to build it. It's called The 7 Common Mistakes Men Make When when attracting a woman. And I'm going to put it right here. And then also, once you sign up for that, you'll be part of my email list. So you'll know when I'm coming to your area. I'll give you information on how to get tickets, things like that, where it's going to be, what to bring, so we can do that intense workshop. It's not going to be a lot of money. I see someone saying, unless you paid loads. I'm not too sure what that's about, but it brought me to a moment just to tell you guys, I will make it affordable because I want to try to impact as many people. I don't do this for the money. And it's funny because a coaching client actually reached out to me this morning and he says, I've been coached by so many relationship coaches and you were able to give me results. But the difference between the relationship coaches is I can see that your heart is really in your business, and it took away all my worry, it took away all my nervousness, it took away a lot of things, and you really got to the deep root of the issue because of the knowledge that you have or whatever, which was such a beautiful thing to hear. Also, if you need help with confidence, I have a seminar that I just released. It's called the Master Your Attraction Audio Seminar. It's in my product page. Just go to my private coaching page, go to the product on the top right, and you'll see a bunch of products on there. Also, too, if you need a coaching session, let me help you. I get results with you with coaching. I am going to help you with whatever it is that you need or whatever it is that you're going to. If you just have a quick question about a couple of things, just do a 30-minute coaching session with me. I'm here to support you guys. You'll understand a little bit more when you do book that session with me. And you pronounce my last name Ponti. And then lastly, if you guys are part of my email list, I sent an email yesterday about the text manual that I made on how to text a woman, a text manual, and I give you really play-by-plays of like what men do wrong. I show you actual things that I've done, and I coach my clients too. And I also give you text messages that you can send to start building a connection with a woman. And a lot of those text things, I deal with a lot of men. I coach a lot of men that are dating after divorce or if they lost their partner or whatever. That helps too. And then lastly, a big announcement is I just finished writing a short book with another coach, and he is a great coach. He wrote a book about the 35 rules to save your relationship, which is an amazing book. We put a lot of things, a lot of effort into that book. It's a self-coaching book. So it's something that you can purchase and take home with yourself to really revamp your relationship if you need that. All right, guys. So I'm going to take some questions and then I have to go. I have an appointment next coaching at 1:15, and I have like 300 emails I got to get to, but I love it. So don't worry about that. Okay. If you want to make a woman laugh, you halfway home. I don't understand that. You're halfway home. Okay. Jermaine, thanks for being a constant supporter. If you can make a woman laugh, you're halfway home. Oh yeah. I know. I understand that. Oh, Carlos Santana. I love that song. Carlos Santana. I forget that song. Maria. That's what it is. Okay, so if a woman blocked you permanently on social media, that means that you're too overly eager with her, first of all, and two, like, forget about her. How do you pace yourself without seeming uninterested? Okay, wrong message. Let me clarify. It's not about seeming uninterested. You're interested, but you're pacing yourself because you're busy, because you've got things going in your life. You're trying to get to know a woman. I'm not saying, okay, men, I'm not saying for you to come off uninterested. That is the total opposite of what I'm saying. What I'm saying is to pace yourself naturally to understand and get to know this woman and present yourself in a way that I'm on a pedestal and I want this woman to meet me here too. I want to see what she's all about and let her show you so she can meet you there and then you guys can grow together. Um, it takes patience to get the right girl. Yes, it does. That's the truth. Um, First time watching, but it won't be my last. We'll use this as soon as possible. Oh, thank you, Mario. Tell me how it goes. Comment on my YouTube channel. Tell me how it goes after. Come back to this live and tell me how it goes. How to bring connections to a girl who was my classmate before, no contact yet. I don't understand that question. I'm a woman who is job to ask about the relationship. What's your thoughts? I'm a woman who is job to ask about the relationship. I think it's a mutual understanding. I'm so happy. I love when I have women on lives. Okay, Emma, thanks for joining this live. Who is the job to ask about the relationship? So it's a mutual understanding. So when the both of you understand, like, when that conversation comes around, is like, are you here to have fun, or are you looking for something more with substance, or what is your next step? What are your goals in life? Like, I want to eventually have family. Those are the conversations that you're going to allude to. Typically, when these conversations happen, then you know that you both are on the same track to get to what you want. But naturally, two things can happen, right? The man can openly just call you his girlfriend, or two, you can say, "What are we doing here?" And there's nothing wrong with a woman asking, "What are we doing here? What's going on here? What are your goals? What are your intentions with me?" You want to come off in that way sometimes when you see that the man is showing up, but also too, he might be hesitant with asking these questions because of the fact that he doesn't know how you feel. So it's all about open communication. But if the both of you have open communication, then the two of you are going to be a mutual understanding that you want to be together, plain and simple. It's just going to come up in a conversation. It's just going to come up and saying, "I love spending time with you. Like, let's make this permanent." All right. Whoever says that, let's do it. When you have that connection, that's when it helps. So I hope that answers your question. And I really appreciate you being a woman here on today's live. I love when I have some women viewers. Um, all right, guys. Very good examples for teasing. Thanks, Apollonia. You are so welcome. I am so happy to do this live with you guys. Gosh, I really love my job. I love really just impacting you, sharing my knowledge, and really cultivating a really happier love life for all of you. All right, so I have to get off of this call. I have 5 minutes and I have to go get some water and just get a quick snack because I have been on the go since this morning. I love you guys. And as you always know, who knows what I say at the end of my videos? I want to see it all the comments. Tell me what I typically say on the end of my videos, guys. I want to see if anybody knows before I leave. You are always loved. Yeah, of course, Mike, you got it. It is so, so true. And you are always loved. And the meaning behind that is even on the times that you don't feel like you are loved or supported for someone that you might love, somebody else out there always loves you no matter what you see or what you don't see. Remember, you are always loved, guys. Bye for now. I'll see you soon.